Recording. Okay, there we go. So you wanted to watch Veigar game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any particular reason or?
I just played a lot of Veigar. I played much more in preseason. I still had a much better win rate.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think your win rate dropped?
Um, I am not sure. I think maybe I just started concentrating less. I mean, maybe not actually. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Maybe just I don't know actually. Because I don't know if I started concentrating less. I don't see a particular reason for that.
yeah. I mean, if you did, that could be a big issue. Like, what's happening in games like this?
Yeah.
Like, do you remember this game?
Uh, Probably not, but yeah, something. Oh. mm,
I mean, like, it's obviously a clown game because you have 80% kill participation while only being part of 4 kills. So it's obviously like a cringe one. Like, see? It's like really
No,
cringe
I
game.
I just remember I played with one of my friends and yeah, that's kind of what I remember.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, clown game indeed.
Uh, okay. So we'll just start off talking a little bit about items and runes before we go into the game.
Mhm.
Like here against Ari, which in my opinion is one of the better meta matchups right now for Veigar. Like people are playing the reworked Ari quite a lot, and it's really nice for Veigar. Um, but there's a couple of things here that I would change already. So
Yeah.
Tear start versus Ari is fine. You don't need anything versus her. The lane is really easy. Um, I actually played that matchup yesterday as well. Let me see if I can find which account I did it.
Yeah, I usually look at your OP when I play bigger, and then just sometimes take the same runes. You do usually take Ghost Borrow, but I usually take the other one. What's it called? Relentless Hunter?
Eyeball.
Eyeball, yeah, Eyeball, yeah. And you also don't really take Ingenious that much. Or I guess you did this game.
I mean, I do Ingenious if I go Predator and I go Relentless when I go Electrocute.
Okay.
I think you are really griefing by going Ingenious with Electrocute. Veigar's most important stat is movement speed.
hmm
This champion is completely unplayable if you don't have any movement speed when it's needed. So for example, this game I don't feel like movement speed is that needed because Ari is gonna play to catch you and catch your team, so she's gonna dash forward at times. Viego as well and Aatrox as well. So the only ones that you're gonna struggle to reach is Jhin and maybe Bard, right?
hmm
But those are only 2 people, and Bard might also even go close range. You also have quite a lot of engage yourself with Kayn and Rakan, so this is a pretty good electrocute game. But I don't see why you have this, because the only thing this is going to help you with is Everfrost, but Everfrost already has quite a low cooldown, right? 30 seconds is not a long cooldown when it's a spell that you only use in fights, right? It's not something you use for wave clear, it's not something you use for fun, right? You don't use it every time it's up.
Yeah. Oh, I, I,
So
I agree.
so having this just for that is troll. Saying that it helps with gargoyles is also troll because you don't have gargoyles until like 30 plus minutes, right?
hmm
So you should just go relentless because then you get movement speed. Like if you can have like 20 plus extra movement speed, which is not even true, you'll have even more. Like you'll have way more with this. Like let's say on average this is gonna give you like let's say 25, 30, right? And
Yeah.
you're like because of that you're like 20 more movement speed than enemy. You will guarantee to cage them,
hmm
right? And that's
Yeah.
huge. Um, I'm gonna show you a game here, a clip from a game uh, where where I played Veigar. I'm gonna show you this fight. This is exactly why I went Predator in this game and why I'm going a movement speed build in this game compared to how sometimes I go Electrocute. So just watch this fight. Enemy team is Ari, Jinx, Senna, Jace. They're quite range heavy, right?
hmm
Okay, just watch how hard I'm kited. Can I reach these guys?
Never.
What should their response be when I walk up here?
I mean, they should just keep out of range
Right.
and then just
Yeah.
throw shit at you.
Yeah. That's what they do. Because they're humans, right?
hmm
Now, luckily for me now, Lee Sin loses them the game. So that's nice, right? But that's not something I can account for, right? I can't hope that that will happen. But anyways, let's keep watching. So Lee Sin ints, loses them the game here. I walk up and they run away just like we, talked about. See? They are all running away from me. And I'm kited like a fucking dog. Look now. I'm gonna show you what Jinx does to me now. Tell me how this is fair. Watch what Jinx does. Can I hit her?
Never.
No.
Not without Predator.
Yeah. But I already used my Predator. So like luckily I end up catching them, right? That's why we go tank on Veigar.
Again, but yeah.
Yes. But that's why I go tank on Veigar later, so I can run up to this type of guys. And that's why your runes are not very good, because this one here does nothing for you. It's only good on Predator. If you have this,
I completely agree.
If you have this, it will be much easier for you to roam and rotate to fights. You will get more farm because of it too, because you can rotate more and go on other waves. In mid game, you can walk up to people and land cages much easier. And on your second runes, I think that you can go Transcendence if you're not going to go CDR boots. So if you want to play Sorc shoes, you can go this. My issue is that I think that you only win games on Veigar when you get your items. If you don't get your items, you are so useless. Veigar spikes so hard on every single item because when you have Everfrost, you are a completely different champion, right? And when you have Rabadons, you are fucking OP. When you get Gargoyles or Anaphemas, you can frontline, right? They have MR, you get Void Staff, you can carry. So that is why I always go Futures Market. Like I said, you can go Sorcery, but to me, if I'm going to lose my Futures Market, it's going to be because I choose to go Resolve. I don't see it being worth...
Really? Which account is that?
This is Testac.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's usually the one I look at, and I looked at like a lot of Veigar games, like a good amount of time ago, and then you were never going it, and I was actually going it back then, but then I stopped going it because...
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying Sorcery.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I've been trying Sorcery because it, like I said, it can be nice. Oh, one sec. It can be nice to have Transcendent CDR and go Sorc shoes. You know, like this. Like, that can be nice. Because Veigar needs CDR. But what I've recognized recently is that Everfrost is going to give a CDR, and I'm always going Anaphemas nowadays, pretty much, right? Or I'm going Gargoyles or something. I'm going quite a lot of CDR items, and I have the CDR shard, and I also like CDR boots a lot nowadays. So I don't see why I would go Transcendence and then have CDR boots and Everfrost and stuff. So then sure, I can go Sorc shoes if I have Transcendence, but I'm still less CDR. You know? I only go Sorc shoes nowadays if enemy team is really squishy. Like, if you saw this game I have Sorc shoes because of this reason. See? I can one-tap all of them. I don't think fights will last long. So I just go full Magic Pen, full one-shot. I even go Ludens so that I can help get into range. Right? Like, I can proc my Ludens and get some movement speed, which can be helpful here, because if I'm in range to kill them, I will kill them, right? But usually they have quite like bruiser heavy tanky team, and to me then it just feels like more sense to get more cages off, you know, more spells, spamming more spells. Like here, this game, Rengar pretty tanky, Senna shielding and healing everyone, Yone is pretty tanky, right? So to me this game, it just makes more sense to have CDR boots. Whereas this game, again, you see I have Predator, movement speed, full Magic Pen, full one-shot, because I have Seraph, Jinx, Fresh, Graves. They're all standing back in Africa and I can't reach them. This game, again, look, they're so tanky, right? Yasuo, Shield Bow, Akshan, Shield Bow, Diana, Sonya's, and pretty tanky with shields, Rakan, pretty tanky, right?
Yeah, you don't hit Jace.
Yeah, so like, if I have Sorc shoes, sure, maybe I will one-shot when I'm really fed, but I would rather have CDR boots, use more cages to make everyone's game hard to play. And also look, CDR boots, 20 ability haste, 950 gold. Right?
Yeah.
Look when I get access to those in the actual game. 13 minutes. That's pretty early, right? Imagine I have Sorc Shoes. Then I'm playing with 20 ability haste. Then I will, like I said, if I have Transcendence, I will have like 10 extra. So I would have 38 at this point. But with this one, right, I have 48.
Yeah.
So, and I'm also saving a bit of gold because Sorc Shoes cost more. But not only that, I also will get access to other runes like these two, which will again save me gold, which will let me get into my item spikes. That's why I've just settled now on doing that instead of doing this. I know Nemesis, for example, still goes this and this. But I think this is just completely fucking useless. I tried to play with this because my theory was that maybe if I go this, I can skip going Tear, which will save me 400 gold in early game, right? And that could be nice. But my issue is that I don't actually get to stack this, so I do go You get what I mean? Hello?
I think I took off my mic.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like what I was saying is like, let's say 8 minutes into the lane, right?
Mm.
I have 150 extra mana from Mana Flow because I don't have it stacked. There's no fucking way I have it stacked as Veigar, right? If anyone's human. So 150 to 200 mana or something. I would have way more with Tear.
Mhm.
So I just didn't find it to be laneable with this. So yeah, this rune is pretty wasted on Veigar, right? Like, we don't need this. Because this is like so counterproductive to playing Veigar, I feel like, because this rune gets really good at 30 to 40 minutes. But at that point, I've already told myself that I'm just building full tank because I don't need AP anymore. Right?
Yeah.
At 30-40 minutes, I'm fucking buying Gargoyles and Anaphemas.
Yeah, so it's useless entire game.
Yes,
Basically.
so the only rune is this one. This is a good rune, don't get me wrong. This is nice. CDR, like I said, movement speed and CDR is really good stats on Veigar. So this is a good rune. But CDR boots is also pretty good. And Futures Market is fucking broken on Veigar.
Mhm.
Like, when you're playing this game, you're telling yourself, okay, I just need to get my Everfrost, I just need to get my Rabadons. Oh yeah, now at this point you're like, oh fuck, I really need Gargoyles, right?
Mhm.
And you're playing the game around these spikes, so I don't see why you wouldn't want runes that will help you get those spikes. Right?
Mhm.
So that's why I think these are better. If you're wondering why I have Eyeball here, it's because I'm bot lane.
Uh-huh.
Now when it comes to Ghost Poro, if you're gonna go Sweeper, then yes, you can go Eyeball. If you're gonna sit on Yellow Trinket, you should not be having Eyeball. Then you're just trolling. Why do you not go Ghost Poro?
Or I don't know. I just felt like every game there was anyway so many kills.
But you're wrong. Look at your games. These kills, right? You gotta ask yourself, when are they happening? Right? OPGG sucks now because they're fucking like, they fucked up their entire site, so you can't see how long the games last. Right?
I can check if you want me to.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but if you just look at all your games, you have on average like, you're part of like average like 12, 13 kills.
Mhm.
So at 10 kills, you will have Eyeball stacked, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When are those kills happening? They're not happening in the first 5 minutes, right? But with Ghost Poro, with the first 5 minutes, you would already maximum have 8 extra AP if 2 Poros got popped, right?
Yeah.
But if they only spawned and they didn't get popped, then you would still have 4 AP. That can help you into getting more AP with more Qs, more spells, more damage, and more kills. But also, that's already a lot of stacks onto your thing, your rune. So that even if maybe you end up getting some more kills later, that doesn't matter, they would still stack the same time, or Ghost Poro would stack faster. Especially on Predator, because on Predator, you will get to get more Poros spawned. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
The only downside to Ghost Poro is that you can't swap your trinket to Sweeper. But to me, that isn't a big deal, because I don't really want to walk into enemy Diana or Stead in River, right? So I don't see why I wouldn't go Ghost Poro. Like on LeBlanc, I don't like Ghost Burrow because I want to have Sweeper. On Kassadin, I don't like Ghost Burrow because I want to have Sweeper. You know? But Veigar, it's like, why the fuck do you not have Ghost Burrow? Like, look your games. This is the only game where Eyeball would have been like better. But again, I don't know how long this game like lasted. And again, I don't know when you got your kills. But with this amount of kills, I assume you got some in early game. But again, you can't account for that, right?
No.
So yeah. Now for Resolve Second, I go Resolve Second if I think I will take a lot of damage in the game, which will typically happen if they have like a lot of fucking like dive assassins, or if I think that there's a lot of damage I can't avoid. You know, like Rengar one-shotting me, Karthus R, just this, you know, stuff like this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Broken shit.
Yeah. And I try to go HP in my thing as much as possible. Like, if I think I'll take a lot of damage early, then I will go, like, MR, like, versus Syndra and stuff. But I try to just go HP here as much as I can.
HP is also really nice if you are going to build, what's called Gargoyle?
Yeah. But again, I wouldn't think about that, because that's, like, I don't even know if the game will last to the point where I get Gargoyle. Small adaptation that I do sometimes is that I can't go this rune always, because sometimes I actually need my boots. Like, if I have Predator, I need my boots. If I want Mercs early, I need these boots, right? So, then I either go Cosmic or this, versus stuff like Seraph and Cassio. I feel like Time Warp is better, because I can outrun them and run up to them with the extra movement speed, you know?
Yeah, and if they die for, like, if they have something that makes you flash, the other one is better.
Yes.
Like Malphite, whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Because, like, versus Cassio, if she hits you with Q and you pop this, you can, like, run away from her. So, like, you'll see that every time I'm versus, like, shit like Malzahar and stuff, you see I just go HP run. It's just better. So, yeah. Okay.
Brilliant.
So, this is against who?
This is, yeah, good question.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Ryze, it's really easy. They have Ryze Sack, so Magic Resist gets a little bit more value than HP here. Just because you will take damage from both parties, so I think going into MR here is not that bad. Tear is fine, lane is really simple. But already you're making quite a mistake. What do you think the mistake is? Your mic is not working.
I'm not hitting.
What do you
I'm
say?
not hitting. I'm not hitting.
The minions?
Yeah, I mean, I could layer them better.
Okay. I mean, I think it's good you're not hitting right now. Because you don't want to push either. He has very good gank setup, and Zac also wants to gank
I mean,
you.
I should just match.
Yes, you want to match, but more importantly is you need to just fish for Qs on him. Where you're standing
Yeah, I
right
can do
now.
that before.
Yeah. Where you're standing now, you cannot ever Q him. You're not even looking to Q him. I lane versus Caps the other day. And people tell me like, yeah, but if enemy is good, they're not going to let you Q them. Sure, but I think Caps is a pretty good mid laner, right? And I think level 1 I landed 2 Qs on him. So it doesn't fucking matter, you should still look for it. Right? Like, when he hasn't entered lane yet, that's a mistake from him. So right now you should start looking for him.
Oh yeah, I should walk up more.
Yes.
And then I could, like, between minions or something, whatever.
Yes, before he enters the fucking lane so you can Q him.
Yeah,
because
and it
if
doesn't start pushing if I just hit through
Yes.
casters.
Yes. If he's good player, right, he's already here and then you can't Q. But when he's not in the lane, you should already start fishing for Qs. Okay? And then when the minions gets to like this HP, then now, yes, now you don't want to Q him, because then you don't have Q for last hits. That's fine. But you didn't look before they were low. That's the issue. So now same thing, I would look for Qs again. Good. So like here, for example, right? When you see now you're getting pushed in, I would just ward the middle of the lane. Right? And we already knew, like, even earlier, like, we already knew here that I'm not gonna push versus Ryze Sack, right? So I don't need my ward, right?
I guess not. It's
Like,
just yeah,
what the fuck will I ward? That's useful.
yeah. I guess you're right.
Right? Because like you're blue side here, and if you get push, yeah, you can ward these raptors. You can like ward here. You know, maybe you get a ward here. Maybe you get some useful ward. But if you're pushed in, you're playing inside of here. So your only ward options are here. Do you think Zac is gonna invade you guys?
No, never.
Okay, so your ward options here and here and here. Are these useful wards?
Those are not useful wards, and I would probably control ward the other one later.
Yeah.
Not now.
And that's not early game, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? It's completely wasted vision. So that's again why you just spawn fucking Poro in the middle of the lane, and that can also help you know which side he's recalling, where he is fogging, you know? Because when he crashes the wave and goes to cheater or whatever, you can see where he's going if he's basing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
League players, and I mean humans in general, they really tend to forget stuff even if it happened 2 minutes before. What I mean by that is like if you ward in the middle of the lane, I can guarantee you he forgot 2 minutes later. You know? So he will like end up recalling here, and you see him on vision, and he doesn't even know.
Yeah, and then I cancel him or I know he's
Yes.
back.
Yes. Or you prevent yourself from walking into a bad side where he can come and, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not just the Ghost Poro, but that's the Ghost Poro is obviously a huge like benefit to it. Like to show again, like this Ahri game, right? Like I know I'm gonna get pushed in versus Ahri, right? I don't wanna fucking like I even write it here in early game. Can't get mid prio, we'll die to gank. Because they have Ahri Lee Sin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So watch what I do. I know I will not have push. Right? I ward here because I was scared of them invading us with their mid push. That's like the only thing you can do with your vision. But that's it. Like that should be like your only thing to do as Veigar when you're pushed in is only like help your team with vision. But then you have to place like this. Right? Because like I said, I knew she would have push. So here there's a world where they invade, that's why I warded. That can be useful. But Zac will not do that. Right? Lee Sin Ahri might. Now you see I'm under my turret. I have no more wards that I can use, right? Because we're already fist fighting top. So I just ward the lane. Why not? Right?
Why not, I guess?
Because I'm not gonna ward anywhere useful. So that's 4 AP for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, here I would walk up and just insta-Q.
Could do it a lot faster at least.
Yeah. So he has Corruption Potion. I wouldn't auto this one because of minion aggro. Like, when you see this one is gonna take...
One.
Yes, and it's gonna get fully focused. So you need to hit this one. It's really crazy that he lets you do that. Like, here, right? You have to be really careful. Like, watch. He's gonna get level 2 now. Right? Look your clicks. Okay. What do you do now if he pops his time warp and he runs like this?
Then I lose half my HP.
Yeah. Or you get pushed into river, and then what do? Then you just lose minions.
Mm-hmm.
So, I understand what you're doing here. You want to Q this, right?
Yeah, but it's greedy.
It's so greedy, and when we want to greed, we need to understand what enemy options are. If he's standing here fucking showing you that he's griefing, then yes, you can do what you're doing. But I don't think he's griefing that hard. I think he should play a lot more aggro. But it's not like he's useless in the position he is. He can still punish you. You know?
Yeah.
See, like his next click was here. You didn't know that. It could have been like here, and he could be facing this way, popping his time warp. And I think you would get ran down if you committed to this Q.
Mm.
Like you recognize here later that you fucked up. But it's already bad because stuff like this will get punished. You know?
Yeah.
So, when you notice in game that you're gonna greed, it doesn't matter what you're greeding for. You just have to understand like what can they do to punish it, and is it likely that they will punish it? If, like I said, if he's standing here, he will not punish it because he's showing you he doesn't know what's going on. But when he's in like the middle of the lane, I would not go for a Q like that. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I wouldn't skill E yet. I wouldn't skill anything. Like, your goal as Veigar is to make the game as human as possible, right? Like, you want the game to just be slow. They have a rise, which means he can push every single wave and roam, right?
Yeah, and I know I'm not. I don't know if I'm getting ganked yet, so I just wait and
Yeah,
then I can
exactly.
W it so I can like farm.
Like,
if I
Echo
need
now has
to
two options, right? He's gonna get level 3 of Raptors, and then he can gank, or he can go here. If he's ganking, yeah, then you would want E, but like you said, you don't know if he's ganking. So, if you now end up having E, but Echo decides to full clear, then you can't make the game human, because you can't keep Ryze in lane. You need your W to be able to match his push. You know? Like,
Yeah.
if I'm Ryze here, on wave 3 now, the next wave, I can just EQ, and force crash the wave. But here, if you have W, you can, like, match it more. You know?
Yeah, and those minions would have also been way
Yes.
easier.
Yes. Like, this wave is dead. And then he can't just EQ as easily for him. And he has to invest more mana and more time, which in the end makes his rotation slower, and everything is just better for the Veigar.
Mhm.
So you never skill a spell level 2, you only do it when you're 100% certain what's going on. Am I getting hard pushed in? Use W, get all the CS. Is the guy all-inning me? Maybe I can use E, right? Am I getting ganked? I use E. But now you don't have an ability. So he can just easily crash. Now, obviously now it looks good that you have E, but that was not your intention.
No, of course not.
So, that's still really bad. I would cage already right now. Like, you can cage already right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Remember, your cage is 3 seconds. Okay? You're not stunning him. You're caging him.
Yeah.
Because now you have to, like, run up at him, and that's, like, it works here, because he's short range champ, but if he's longer range, I think that he can recognize here he's getting ganked, you know? Because he would be playing here instead of here, if he's longer range, and he would start running away as soon as you run up. So you have to use the first chance to cage him, because Echo's already close.
Yeah.
Okay, good flash by him. He make him lose cannon? Yeah, good. I would pop a potion here. Bit greedy to not pop potion when you don't know where Zac is. Like, when you realize you're gonna take all this damage, I would pop potion. Because you ended up popping potion, like, really late. Like, here, you should pop potion. Because you know that you're gonna have to push and base, right?
Yeah.
So Zac could gank you now. He can gank you after the gank, so in like 20 seconds. And he can gank you when you're trying to crash the wave fully, like in 30. All of that time, if you could have 150 extra HP, that would be good, right?
Yeah.
Ryze right now, if he's a good player, he can just recall and TP back too, right? And then you will be happy to use your potion too, right? Because otherwise you can't crash. Then you might even have to use 2 potions. So, when you go into combat, you pop your potion. It will save you. Okay, so you are topside, but I'm pretty sure he started topside.
Pretty sure he started with as well, yeah.
But
Or
no, he started blue. Yeah, okay.
That's good.
So we have to just make sure that that's why you are the topside. But yeah.
So it's not just autopilot?
Yeah, because it's like, since he has to be topside here, then it's also like, couldn't you just hug bot side and just push?
Yeah.
Because it's like, right now it's 256 in game. So for Zac to gank you through bot side, that means he's done 3 camps and ganks you bot side. 1, 2, 3, and then here. Makes no sense that he's doing that at 3 minutes, right?
No.
Maybe at 2:30, sure. Maybe 2:40, sure. But at 3 minutes, no fucking way. So I wouldn't even bother warding. Just hug bot side and push. Because you need to crash it ASAP. You just trade bases here. This is a normal sequence. You both just trade recalls. I wouldn't bother keeping him in lane. I would just trade base because we are both equally useless here. Because now the issue is, like, if you keep
Yeah,
laning,
just-
now
just
he TP's
W
back.
push.
Like, if you hard pushed, you wouldn't need to TP. Now you need to TP back.
Yeah, that why there is also really bad. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, if I'm going to clear it, then it's okay, I guess. But if he TP's back, then he can freeze.
Yes. Like, now he should TP and just freeze on you. And then now
Yeah,
you're
I
frozen.
think I just didn't think a hit at all.
Because now he should be coming now because of TP and just freeze, and you're fucked.
But he doesn't TP because
Yeah,
he's an idiot, I guess.
yeah, I mean, he's just a terrible player.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. We can't know about that. Like, imagine you're playing Veigar versus Zac, Ryze, and you get frozen on.
FF.
Hmm?
FF.
Yeah, FF. You can't farm a single minion without dying. So, let's go back. Your options here is either one, force him to stay in lane and you freeze, or you handshake bases. You cannot keep slow pushing and being overextended. So I cannot freeze this, right?
Which means I hard shove.
Yes. You just trade bases, and you just accept that, yeah, okay, the Ryze gets the base, because I'm playing fucking Veigar. I can't do anything here. Right?
Mm.
So you just fucking handshake. Just handshake recalls.
Insta W.
Even now, like, just W, don't waste your Q. It's not worth to get a 1 AP if it means you're gonna get frozen on.
Yeah.
And here, when you're in this situation, when you realize you're fucked up, it is better to recall now and TP back than to push and hope he doesn't freeze. Because at least now, if you base and TP, then you get to build your own slow push instead of just TPing back with the wave here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense because I have a higher, like, Echo's gonna have his camps cleared. I'm gonna have a higher chance of surviving because I'll also have full HP and probably.
Yes, and you will have minion advantage. Your support can maybe gank for you because the lane is in a gankable position. If Ryze gets ganked and actually dies, he loses so much minions. You only push now if the guy doesn't have TP, because then basically you can crash. If you can 100% crash, then you push here. If you cannot crash, you just fucking base and TP and you slow push as slow as you can. Like, this is a massive mistake that I'm sure you get punished in different games. You're just lucky that this one you are versus noobs. So Zac ganks top. Jungle diff. So he full cleared, so he's probably gonna look to base now and go bot side.
Yeah.
You decided to not buy potions. That is always extremely greedy. Especially on Veigar, because sometimes as Veigar you have to take damage. Because sometimes you have to make the wave push back into you. Sometimes you have to take damage to set up a gank. Sometimes you have to take damage because of a minion you want to go for. Right? So every time we don't buy potions, we have to understand, is it worth it? You bought tier 1 boots instead of buying 250 HP. That is not worth it. Right? Boots versus Ryze, what will that do for me? Am I dodging any skill shots? No.
Nope.
Sure, I can space his EW, but I'm sure I can do that without boots, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So you just buy refillable here. Refillable is 250 HP.
Yeah, when you say it like that.
Right? That's a lot of HP.
Jack's dying solo in that lane. And to
Yeah.
gank,
Jungle diff, of course.
of course, too.
So yeah, this recall doesn't change the lane. The lane is going to be the same. He's just going to push and ignore you. But this lane does get better and better. The issue this game is that Mercfreds has a lot of value for him, so he's going to get to go Mercfreds. When Ryze goes Mercfreds, this lane is a bit awkward because he only needs to respect you if he can get ganked or die 1v1. And he cannot die 1v1 if he has Mercs. So, yeah. Right now you're really weak and should just keep farming like you are. Your W is very poorly placed.
Was it?
Yeah. I wouldn't cast W like this. Like, look, watch. Here, you place it like this, right? You have to make sure that this will get attacked, which is happening here. But I don't know if that's your thought process.
Yeah, I was sure.
Okay.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, then it's good. Because I see a lot of people, they W for 1 minion, then they hit the other one, and then now the entire wave is fucked.
And I lose both or
Yes.
one.
Yes. So, yeah, as long as you're making sure that you're looking at that, because obviously, with the minion positions, this one will always get hit. So, that's good. But, trust me, I've seen, like, even, like, Nemesis, he's like, oh, I will lose this minion, and then he W's like this, and now he loses the other two.
Yeah.
People do this on Corki a lot, for example, with their fucking Q.
Mm.
So he bought Tear, so that's kind of nice for you. So I would, honestly, at this point, I would start looking to solo kill him. Like, I'm not even kidding. I would start playing to solo kill him, because he flashed at like 230 or so. So he has no flash for a long time, so even just dealing damage to him is valuable. And again, how is Ryze gonna win a game versus Veigar? Right, look from Ryze's perspective. How does he win the game?
You have better teammates.
Well, sure, but how can he help with that?
I mean, he can get side push.
Right, but he can also push and roam, right?
Yeah, true.
So in lanes like this where enemy can push and roam, damage to them matters more as well.
Mhm.
Because if he roams and he's low, he could die, right?
Mhm.
And he might not want to roam because he's low. He might want to recall.
Mhm.
So on this wave, when this wave now turns even, I would look to trade more. You have 530 mana, you have TP up, so even if you burn yourself and he recalls and you recall, you can TP back. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I would play for. So like here, like when I see he's missing, okay, I would pick a side to hug. I know enemy jungle is bot side, 100% bot side. Has to be bot side.
Yeah.
Right? So I could ward top side and hug top side. I would look to combo Ryze here. I would full combo him. Why do you not full combo him?
I guess I'm not thinking about it, but yeah,
Like
next
Zac,
wave I will get 6, and if I
Yes.
get 6 and I have damage on him, then he can be dead.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like, Zac is ganking bot. You're not comboing this guy, you're just letting him push in your face. You're trading spells. Why? Why does it matter to kill his minions now than in 10 seconds? People
Veigar
do this.
mental.
People do this. I was memeing this back in the day. This was the Season 8 meta of mid lane. People would play like Victor, Syndra, Corki, Azir, or whatever, and one Corki would stand here, other Azir would stand here, Azir would WQ this, Corki would QR this. It was the Season 8 meta. It was so fucking cringe to watch. When the Azir could just let Corki push and the Azir could just fucking all in the Corki here. This is the same thing. You're both just handshaking wave push. Why? It's so much better for him. He doesn't want to lane. He wants to push and run to here now, so that if this fight continues, he can dive or clean up or save his team. That's what he wants to do. You don't want to do that because you can't do that. Right? You can't do it as easily as he can. You want to set up solo kill. Ryze has no flash. Only thing that should scare you of trading is getting ganked.
Yeah.
But we know Zac is bot side, and we also see him now on minimap. And we could say that maybe you didn't see it in-game, but if you don't see it in-game, then you're paying attention to the wrong things, because like I said, your mindset should be, when you come from base here, I need to start chunking this guy, make him low, because I can kill him. He didn't buy MR.
No.
When he buys MR, like he should never have Corruption Potion versus Veigar for this exact reason. He should have Tear start, so he can buy fucking Magic Mantle here.
Mhm.
And then, yes, then you cannot kill him. Then it gets more awkward. You know, then I would only chunk him if it's like guaranteed, pretty much.
But I mean, okay, so I'm just wondering about something. So, like you're saying, he should have Magic Mantle, so he would have, in that case, like tier Magic Mantle, right?
Yes.
But right now he has, what is it, like 375 extra HP from corrupting?
Yes, but that's over time.
Mhm.
Right? He's not going to instantly heal that. So you're going to EWQ. Right? Then he's going to pop his potion, blah, blah, blah. Then you're going to EWQ as again.
Mhm.
And it will be better than the Magic Mantle. And it's not like he doesn't have potions. Right? He will have refillable potion. So he doesn't have the HP you're saying. Right? He has 250 HP from refillable 375 from corruption.
Yeah, yes. And he has
Right?
corruption,
So
it's-
125 HP difference. But with 25 extra MR on Magic Mantle.
Oh yeah, he would have available. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously when you say 375, it sounds like a lot, but it's not 375, it's 125. But surely 25 magic resist will negate more than 125 damage over time, right?
Yeah, I agree. I just wasn't thinking about that.
So like obviously I would farm these minions, I think this is completely fine, but while I'm doing this, I'm thinking, what's my game plan? How do I win? Because I want to win, right? Obviously I want to farm. Every matchup I want to farm, but I have to do something, right, to win the game. And when I'm versus roaming champ, my goal is to chunk him and make him stay in lane. Because if this game is 0-0-0 between both of us, I will win. Right? He needs to dive side lane. He needs to make things happen. So now when wave is even, only thing that stops me from harassing him is if his support or jungle is hovering him. I look at the map here, I see Janna is bot. I know Zac is bot side, could gank mid, yes, that's true, but he's bot side. So I would be looking at map now. Now I see Zac and I would fucking walk up. I would even auto-attack him, but you don't have potions. So it feels really bad to trade, right? That's what I'm saying, why the fuck we have boots?
So would rather just get just potion and
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you something.
I don't really need control ward, no.
Nope.
Would you
not
buy
really.
a control ward?
Depends on my gold. So
I mean, I
think
would
it's
have
pretty...
enough for it, but I don't really see why I would need it in that game.
I think it's this.
Jensen Veigar, man. A man of my country.
No, it's not this one, it's Niski.
Oh no.
Okay, let's see here. No, when the fuck was it? There was a Veigar that just solo killed level 6.
I mean,
Here.
Veigar one.
It's this one, it's this one. No, it's not this one. Fuck. Well, anyways, there was a Veigar in pro play that did exactly what I said. And it was one of the Veigars I coached, and I've only coached like 3 Veigars. I know Nemesis solo killed Faker, but that was like a different type of solo kill. But this is the same type of setup. When you are 1 or 2 waves off getting 6, you really want to change the way you're playing and you want to start poking and harassing. Like how he's egoing on you like this, I would never allow. The only issues with trading is that you have to keep in mind your mana, right?
Yeah.
And your HP and how it's going to affect the lane state. But you don't have to involve your E and W. You can, for example, versus a champ like Ryze, you can just auto-Q auto.
Yeah,
It's
but
not allowed to...
like,
What?
No, I just think I'm like afraid of it because what if he QW EQs me or
Okay,
QW
and if you and if you have refillable potion, it is not that bad.
Yeah, I guess.
But when you boots, yeah, it's fucking terrible. Of course. It sucks. That's why you should not have boots. You wasted 300 gold. They do nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. They actually don't do anything, because you can't roam either. Even having a mana crystal will be better than boots. Like, I don't see what the fuck you're playing. Like, look your mana. Your mana is only low, because instead of comboing him, you're just comboing wave for fun. You enter lane with 530 mana. You walk up. Boom, 60 mana used. There. Here, 60. Now 100. There you go. 100 mana down the drain. Didn't need to do that, right? Instead, I could have auto-Q autoed him. I could have even caged WQ for like similar mana.
Yeah.
And if you do that, I can guarantee you will, 1, get more AP overall, because you're using spells on him. But you will also set up solo kills, or gank. Like, Echo can do Krugs into Raptors, he sees that Ryze is half HP, you can gank him. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to set up for that. Now I would say Zac is going to be topside. Looking to gank top or you from topside. That's what would make sense. Especially with how he's hugging. Yeah, you can stand topside though, because you have backup.
Yeah, I'm trying
Cage,
to get
cage, cage,
him
cage,
to, like,
cage!
I'm trying to
Yours.
get him to walk.
Yes, but
walk to the
look,
side.
he's already showing you his intention.
Yeah.
So you just walk up. Try to KS. Good try. I would ping everyone away. Just freeze this. Freeze. Ping him away. Ping. Ah! What are you doing?
I mean, I want base, and then I can run back, but
Yes, but look your gold.
I'm not doing it.
Look your gold. You
Yeah,
have an
yeah,
option to you have an option to freeze and base. If you want to push and base when you could freeze and base. The only reason you ever do that is if 1, you want to go for plate, or so that's one option. 2, you want to base later for better gold. Like let's say here, you have 700 gold. Your team can help you push, you can get chapter. Yeah, that's pretty good. But look your gold. So if I base at this or this, does that change my gold here?
Nope.
No. So I should just freeze. And you want to make that a habit that while you are killing this guy, right, it requires no focus, right? He has no flash, he's just griefing, he's dead. Start thinking about your next action. Look your gold. I have chapter. Look minimap. Next wave is so close, I just freeze this. It is so much better in so many ways. 1, you don't share as much EXP and gold with your team, right? Because they don't need to help you push. So that's one reason. 2, his wave state is doomed, so he is fucked, right?
Yeah.
3, you also have better tempo because you recall faster too. It's just like so many reasons why it's better. Like this is really bad. Really, really, really bad. Like so bad. Especially versus champs like Rice. Like he gets a free timer now to push and dive your bot lane. See this? You'll TP back now. And he will be one-shotting this wave. What stops him now? From diving your top or your bot lane. If Jax wasn't dead already. Anything?
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing, right? And that's your fault. So, stuff like this will make you lose games. Like so many games. Because even though he didn't do anything, you also can't do anything because you're on the turret. How the game works right now, right? This is how League of Legends works. This is what should be happening, this game. You should freeze this, right? And now you're pressing B in 5 seconds, because maybe you want to kill this melee. Then you either 1, TP back to lane, or 2, you walk back. I would personally walk back because I don't lose more than like maybe 1 or 2 minutes by walking back. Right? And I'm not looking to push. If I was looking to push, I would maybe TP. Okay, and then the game would look like this. Now you would be back into lane here with a freeze, and he would be trying to break the freeze, which means now Rakan can actually gank him, and Echo can also gank if they want to, right? Then when you see Zac top lane here, for example, you could, if you want, break your freeze and go bot lane, right? I'm not saying you should, but you could if it looks good. For example, let's say your bot lane has a slow push, you could dive, right? Then you could break your freeze and dive bots, right?
Yeah.
But these things, they can't happen because of what you did. And that's so bad. Because you don't want your top laner to just die and you have no counterplay, right? You want to be able to do something. Because here, obviously here he's walking up and griefing, right? But he doesn't have to do that, right? If I was Ryze, honestly, I could take your wolves right now. There's nothing that stops me, right?
Don't be Ryze.
Like, that's what I used to do on Ryze and Anivia so much. It's really good trade by you, though. Like, now you can solo kill him on next wave. Zac can only gank you from top side. So here I would one-shot the wave because Echo is ganking. I would just hug bot side and I would one-shot the wave. Because I want to connect to this play. And learning to connect to plays like this is really important. Because when they're ganking now 3v2, yes, there is a chance that they just kill anyways without you. Sure, that's the chance. But 2, there's a chance that the guys live. And now when you come, you can clean up or you can dive or flank. You can cut off their escape path, right? And that's important. You have nothing here that stops you from pushing, except for Zac ganking you, but he's coming from top side like we already established, so I think you are safe hugging bot side, right?
Yeah.
but you kind of recognize, but you're so scared. But I don't understand why you're scared, because you're actually in more danger standing where you're standing than standing here.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, he can actually reach you. If you're here, he cannot reach you. So these things are hurting you a lot. Because when you're playing Veigar like this, like, yeah, your CS is not bad. You're doing a pretty good job CSing. That's good. But you're not doing anything in the sense of like preventing Ryze from being useful and preventing enemy team from winning as well, right?
Mm.
You're doing step 1 of Veigar, which is farming good and setting yourself up. That's good. But to be useful on the champion in early game, you have to do the kind of stuff I'm talking about, right? You have to punish this guy for CS. You have to join the plays that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, I think you're doing the same mistake as before, where you're just handshaking push.
Yeah, I mean, I could just trade
Yes.
with him again.
Yes.
I'm really
Here,
lucky.
here you should handshake push, because here you want to roam. So you can give him this wave, because you actually want to roam to bot. That's fine. Here, you should trade on this wave, because there's nothing to roam to. Dragon is already gone. Make sense?
Mm.
Instead, you see, you're just AFK.
I need to get to season 11 mid laner, not season 8.
Yep. And it's like, we can't say, yeah, but I don't know where Zac is. You're already dead here. If Zac is mid. You know? Or have to flash. There is no difference standing here, right? Or here versus Zac. You know? You just
No,
have to hug
you're
bot side.
right.
I'm not telling you to stand here. All I'm saying is fucking EWQ him instead of WQing the wave perma.
Yeah.
Because I understand you don't know exactly where Zac is. Yes, I agree. But that is why exactly we hard push this one, ward entire bot side with your double trinket, and we hug bot side, and we play aggressive from bot side.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can't know where Zac is, because now it's been so long. You know?
Yeah.
So like here he could have just reset and retake bot side. So now it's a bit awkward. Yeah, now you know he's bot side because of blue buff. I would ask for blue. I would spam ping to get blue buff. What a terrible
Yeah,
cage.
I think I lost faith at some point.
But it doesn't hurt to ping.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, you should just ping. Anyways, here you see him hovering, right? Like this kind of disrespect is so crazy. Like you're willingly doing a support mid versus jungle mid 2v2. Right? And you're also not even hugging bot side properly as well. I mean top side.
I mean, how do you hug? Probably you would just stand further up.
Yes,
That?
you
Yeah.
stand here. Because your range still allows you to do exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, I mean, I can see that you're like it's true what you're saying. I just think it's like, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter why I'm doing it. I should just not do it.
I mean, you shouldn't push here. Because they are here. You know? They have Ryze ult. It's not worth to lose your flash for Ryze to ult you.
No.
Right? It's the same example I was saying here, where here on this wave, I wouldn't push and do this because I'm not pushing for anything and I don't know where Zac is. Right? There's nothing that stops Ryze and Zac to just use their spells on you now and force your flash. Right?
No.
And me losing flash because maybe they can punish me is not worth unless I was going to do something with my push. Here, right? Here, there is a world where they just randomly gank me and force my flash, yes. But if they don't, I'm diving bot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, here it's worth.
Yeah.
But here, you do the same thing. You're perma-gankable, but there is no outcome here. Like, let's say they don't gank you. You push this. What are you doing after? You're not diving bot, because you don't have way bot.
I don't have recall either. I don't do anything.
So you're not doing anything. So it's not worth the risk.
No.
Because most things you do in League, there's gonna be like some kind of risk. There's always something he can do. Like, this guy's flashback up now. So if he wants, he can flash root you. You know? So, but why would I risk that here? You know?
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna risk it, why to push? Why not combo? And then here, right? Now, watch now. Here you do a good base, by the way. Like, I do blue here or I base. Because Echo will take 3 camps, right? He has 3 camps up. So I'll be on the map by the time that he's done this camp.
I pinged for it, but he kept pinging. Or he pinged for it.
Yes,
again.
but then you go through your base.
Yeah.
Because this way I can't approach like this. Because my Echo's farming.
Yeah.
I think baiting like this is fine if Echo is here, but he's not. So now we're 2v2ing with support. That's not good. I know you failed your cage, but enemy jungle will always be higher level than your support, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's not good. So stuff like this helps with your negative win rate on Veigar, because you're just blowing up the game. I just lost my flash like that versus Ryze Zac. Right? I'm 10 HP now when Echo has now a gank and fight timer. Don't you think that's really bad?
Yeah. It's not the...
Like, Echo wants to fight now, but now his mid laner is 10 HP, and so is his support.
Mm-hmm.
When all that should happen is here, you push and base, or if you're gonna stay, it's gonna have to be because you're doing a play, like getting a blue or something. Because, sure, we can say, yeah, but don't I lose tempo if I base? Yes, you do, if you were gonna play aggressive on this wave. If you're just gonna be in a turret letting him push anyways, then there's no difference.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So all you gotta ask yourself is, how do I think the game is gonna look while I'm in base? So in 30 seconds. And I think it's very fair to assume Echo will full clear his topside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not gonna go full psychopath at enemy jungler.
Yes. So I should just recall. Your recall is good. Your recall is not good if Echo's gonna go Herald instantly, but he shouldn't. And it's pretty obvious he will not, because he's playing an AFK farming jungler with 3 camps right next to him. So then, as you can see, you push on a timer where you shouldn't, where nothing good will happen from the push. So you risk for nothing, and this happens. Same thing as some of the other waves, just at this time it actually got punished.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're forced to base on a worse timer. Reason why it's worse is because now your jungler is ready to fight and stuff, and now his mid is in base. Sometimes you will have timers like this and you can't control it because it's just too good of a base for you to not base, but this is not one of those. You had the exact same base pretty much, except for the Dark Seal, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, however, you're pretty strong, but you have no flash. I would just one-shot this and look to ward. I would be very careful with how I play and how I path now, because of no flashes. So ward here. It's not a bad ward. Again, I'd be a bit scared on how I approach this. I know Zac cannot come from here. I know he could come from here to here. And I know he could come from here to here. So you're relatively safe, but maybe ask Rakan to ward here. Because again, you have a target on your back. Now you see it on Herald, so you can just take the wave from both sides.
Yeah, but I'm not hugging properly.
Yeah, you're not. Like, I don't understand why you don't. Because you are, like I said, you are more danger here.
Yeah.
Because again, he can reach you here. He cannot if you're standing here.
But I gotta be close to my tower. It's so secure.
Yep. You will get one shot by Zaki. Also, stuff like, don't just stand here, by the way, because you don't know if there's a ward here and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're standing here, you might just get Zac or Fiddle ulted sometimes. You know, like, just go do wolves. Go do something useful.
Mm.
Like, this is better, at least, but that is not why you were standing here. See, like, now I would run to wolves.
Yeah.
Because right now, I don't know, Ryze will just run to the river. Now I think, yeah, now you can, like, turn. Run to bot side. Yeah, at least you avoid that, but if he ults you now into Ryze, then you're dead. Yeah. But it's good that we're dying like this, because it just shows the mistake. You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, you are their only target. You're a flashless Veigar, you're the only one on the map. Because just look, right? You have no flash. The only options is Zac going top or on you. Right? So if you're Ryze, would you ever walk like this without sack?
No, never.
Yeah. So if you're gonna fight, that's fine, but your clicks should be to echo.
Yeah.
You have to stop clicking like this.
Yeah.
If you want to fight, okay. If you believe you can win 2v2, I think that's fine. Echo is not weak. But then you have to run to bot side. Like you're running into your wave. Getting queued by stack. At least if you're here, you can't do what he did. Right?
No.
And also Echo, like I said, would get to you faster.
Yeah. No, if I run down, I survive.
Yeah. I'd also get blue trinket as soon as my ghost burrow gets stacked. But yeah, you don't have ghost burrow, so you should just get it ASAP. Very good versus sack. Yeah, I like this, how you're standing, because it's a very risky dragon. Do you see how scared you have to be because of you wasting your flash?
Yeah.
It's very punishable when you're playing Veigar. Okay, I would just base here. Yeah, I mean, this happens, so that's fine. Not that bad gauge. Pretty good reactions there. WQ.
Human reactions.
Nice. You didn't play this bad. But yeah, if they aren't griefing, you just base there. Like, obviously here you see sack here, so it's fine to go. But just know your other option is just base. Right after, though, you should just base. Because, like, Camille or Ryze can just run top here. And they will be your new lane partners. So you always base here. You don't try to push this out. Here you lost track of what's going on the map. You have to learn the ability of tracking people in fog. So what I mean by that is, why isn't Camille there? Well, because she based, because she's 10 HP. Okay, when did Camille base? Now, right? So with Vayne being bot, where should Camille go?
Top, obviously.
Yes, because Camille does not want to go mid, right? Versus everyone. So Camille will be top in like 20 seconds, right?
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20. So she should show any moment now. She's a bit DC'd, I guess, from the game. She's a bit AFK. I mean, maybe she recalled and decided that she's going to go versus Jax, maybe, or something. But my problem is that if it's not Echo dying, you are the one dying.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep it in mind, like when you're running around like this, make sure you're thinking about it. Here, just recall. If you want to get all the minions, you can recall and TP back, that's okay. But it's better than doing this at least. Here you should already like be jumped on by Camille. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. Like if you go on their client replay, you will see some really weird stuff, I think.
Fucking greedy.
I mean, it's not even about greedy. You'd lose nothing by basing. You lose like 1 or 2 minions. Because like I said, you can TP back. It's not that bad. It's better than dying, right?
Definitely.
So putting yourself alone on side lane versus a Ryze team is very, very risky.
Yeah.
And you have to do it with caution. Like, you're gonna get dove by Ryze. And when you have TP up like this, I would rather be the one mid, and I can TP to help my team on side.
Yeah.
Than to be side lane, and then my team has to run to me. So
it's just, I think what I thought was that I could never like get mid push because I don't have.
Your team can't either. Why can they? Camille has push inside versus you.
Yeah.
So she can just push and hover mid. Right? Yeah. And even if your team gets mid push, what stops Ryze from just pushing and ulting?
Nothing, I guess.
I think Ryze and TF, they will always just dive you. You know? Like if you're diveable, go inside here is very scary. So it's like, I think you can go side right now, because right now you have mid push. But you should look to swap eventually. You know?
Yeah.
Like if your bot lane is like really fed, you can like do this maybe. But right now, like if Ezreal is mid here, I don't see how that stops Ryze from pushing this wave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also Zac can easily dive you too. Like, I think something like a 3-1-1 would be better. If Dragon is coming up, then of course they shouldn't be top, unless you guys want to give Dragon. But it's something you have to keep in mind, because to me this is very, very scary. I'm diveable by Ryze, I'm diveable by Zac. So, yeah. Hope to Allah that Camille doesn't freeze on you here. Yeah. Good luck. Zac wasn't in the bot play, right? Yeah, he wasn't, so you cannot break the freeze. You have to accept that she freezes, and you go wolves, and you go do something, you put Jax top something. You cannot break Camille freeze. She is 3-0, almost 2 items. Okay? And Zac is missing. And more importantly, Zac is missing while his team lost a bot fight. Which signals that if he was bot side, he would have been on this fight, right?
Yeah.
So he should come top and gank you now.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to understand, okay, if she freezes, what do I lose? I lose the wave, right?
Yeah.
But there's a wave here. So I can...
Sprint mid.
Yes, so I can just run mid, take this exact same wave I lost on top, and we can break the freeze on the next wave when my Rakan comes from base, my Echo comes, right?
Yeah, I know, I just low-key feel like I'm stealing from Jax, but I mean, I don't care about
But
that
who
guy.
cares? He's fucking level 10, he's griefed the whole game, there's no stealing your Veigar, you're the best champion in the game to have farm on. You're just dead doing this. You should feel more fucking bad griefing. Like, here, you're just dead. You're dead, always. Every single minion. See, Rakan recognizes too. You know? Like, you're just solo losing the game here.
Yeah.
Because again, you are lucky that Zac is mid. Right? So yeah. It's really fucking good by her that she freezes. Because most of the time people would just handshake there and you wouldn't see why it's so bad what you're doing. I would buy Void Stuff. Because you have 2 AP and your ADC is an Ezreal and you have Rakan. So...
Is the Void Stuff?
Nope, not Rebels. You need to go Void Stuff this game. Like, look fucking Zac items already.
Yeah.
Like, watch when you press tab.
I was just
He is-
asking, you were just insta Void Stuff?
Yeah, insta Void Stuff here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just gonna get better and better, the Void Stuff. There's no fucking way they will not buy Magic Resist this game. Look,
No.
this guy. Void Stuff already good here. Void Stuff Omega good here. And I am sure this guy will buy Witsend.
Yeah.
Right? So it's better to have the Void Stuff ready and then she buys Witsend than to see, oh, she has Witsend, I can't kill Vayne. And then you die 2 times to her before you get your Void Stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just look your team comp. Echo is fed. Okay? AP damage. Ezreal is your ADC. Armor does not do that much for Ezreal, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to your combo there?
I don't know, I should always use the other
Everfrost.
thing first.
Yes.
Everfrost first.
Whenever you are in range, you always Everfrost first. Here, you have a free Fog of War Everfrost into a
Yeah.
free cage. And even after you caged, you should also Everfrost first before W.
There was a miskill.
Yeah. It happens. But yeah, this game is actually so fucking good game to review. Because everything that's happening is because of you, to be honest. You being useless is because of you. You not being able to roam or join any place is because of how you played lane. Didn't interact with Ryze a single time. You wasted your flash, so you can't push at timers that you should get pushed in. You know? You die on side lane, you don't get enough resources because of that. Your teammates aren't able to play their lanes, and they can't get help from you, so you can't carry. Like, sure, it's not your fault Jax gets solo killed. I agree. But we can also agree stuff like that will always happen in solo queue, right?
Yeah.
So, it is really bad that this guy's inting, but then these guys are also not doing well, even though you had timers where you could dive bot. Right? And now we're in a game where you have Rabadons versus fucking Malphite of Magic Resist. Right?
Yeah.
And this guy, he will get the fucking cloak. I mean, he won't get the cloak anymore because Witsend build off, but he will get Magic Mantle and then he will have Witsend. And good luck.
Yeah.
Bro, fucking idiot. Get Sonya's.
He wrote that to me in Champ Select as well. He was like, Veigar, you need Sonya's instant. I was like, no.
Fucking idiot.
Sonya's very useful item.
Yeah, get Sonya's, man. Sonya's. Oh, second Camille's on top of me? Okay, I pressed Sonya's. Oh, what the fuck? They killed me after? Alright.
Yeah, 0 kills, man.
Why does he write this matter? Why does that have to matter? Like, yeah, I'm 0 kills. Okay, so that means Sonya's is better? Sonya's is better if you're fed. You should go full damage this game and hope that somehow you fucking get some shutdowns. Yeah, I mean, it's good that you're flaming him back, because you shouldn't let your opinion be changed because of fucking people like that.
Yeah.
You should buy Void stuff, not fucking Rabadons, not fucking Sonya's. Gargoyles is good this game later.
What?
Gargoyles is good this game later.
Yeah, I also get that later, I think.
Yeah.
I think I just need to be more aware. I also quit caffeine, or kind of quit caffeine, just energy drinks. So.
Then the new buff is so nice when you take your inhib. Like, you get so much AP, it's so nice.
It's
Seems like you realize
nice.
now that you should go Void stuff, maybe?
Yeah.
But yeah, now you see the issue, right? Like, now you're trying to get your Void stuff. Obviously bad flash, but now you realize, oh yeah, I should go Void stuff, but you're like struggling because you don't have it yet.
Yeah, I mean,
they all have like so much MR. Like, look, Camille. Camille's 83 MR, but she only has 1 MR item, and it's her boots.
Yeah.
83 magic resist. That's twice of yours. Look at Rice. Force of Nature and Mercfreds. That guy's gaming. But yeah, rest of the game is kind of useless to watch because there is nothing to really tell you what you can do, because there's nowhere you can really go to farm. I just want to see team fights, see how you position and play fights, because it can be tricky playing versus Zac as Veigar. Basically, you can't EO on enemy team versus their comp. Like, what I mean by that is, like, sometimes as Veigar, you just want to walk up and look for cages. But you cannot do that versus Camille Zac. Your job is to be Poppy. You basically, if Ezreal is here, and you know Zac can come from here and here, then you stand here. And you cage them when they go into you. Okay?
Yeah.
That's your job versus comps like this. Because if you are their first target, then you're fucked, because you can't cage react. Right? That's really hard. And if you walk up to look for cages, let's say you cage the Rise, right? Now you're just a free kill.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the mindset you want to be in. Whereas when you're versus a comp that can't really go on you, then you're kind of just like standing in front of them, just caging them all the time, right? Or versus poke comps, you're kind of trying to walk up and look for cages. That's fine. But versus hard engage like this, you have to play like Poppy. And like a squishy Poppy. Because obviously Poppy tank would stand in front. So you always have to keep in mind, like, where is that coming? Like, here it's coming from both sides. Okay. So that means that, okay. Like here, when they face check you, you can cage like that. But now Camille's coming behind you. That's the issue with this. Yeah. And now you will just get fucked, because now your cage is a cooldown. This is kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah. So you have to make sure Camille can't go on you from behind if you're going to do this.
Yeah, that's also in awkward position, and Veigar, no, not Veigar, Rakan Noir.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it's awkward and Jax is dead, but there is a world where you win if you just let Ezreal ego on them, and you just stand here. And they go on Ezreal, he kites back, now there's a cage here.
Mm.
That is much, 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 much better.
Yeah.
Because you're never one-shotting Zac here anyways. You can chunk him, and that's not bad, but then you have to make sure you don't get flanked from behind. And you seem to have this issue a lot. Like, look at Zac, from his perspective. Why would he face check an area where he knows you guys are if it's bad for him?
Yeah.
I understand it happens sometimes, right? Because people are bad. But why would you do it? More often than not, it's because Camille's also here.
Yeah.
Because I understand you want to cage him and one-shot him. But it's a Zac, it's not fucking Karthus.
Yeah.
So yeah, next time, I think it's okay to look for fight, even though Rakan has no ult. I think it's fine because Ezreal can just poke them. I don't think they can ever get you guys. But just let Ezreal do his thing. You are not Ezreal. You don't have E like him. And then you just sit like here right now.
Yeah.
You're caging all of them, and I think it's winnable. There's a world where you win. Because you can blow up the Camille. If you one-shot Camille here with the team, right? And you're not insta-dead here, right? You're still here right now. You're killing Camille right now. You'll get your new cage, place it here again. It's not that bad, no? Your cage covers this entire area.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens there? Yeah, I mean, I think they're hinting a bit by fighting, because Vayne is still mid, so you walking up is fine to me. I think if you die here, then we just open, because then we are dying while we have numbers, so I think this is fine. I think if enemy had position, though, you should never go for that wave.
Yeah,
they
no,
didn't
never.
have. So. Okay, so she's just griefing the game, that's nice. Wastes her flash too, that's fucking great. So now she's a fucking NPC now versus your cage. So that's nice. Now you get gargoyles. Yeah, nice. Now it changes a bit. You can ego a little bit on them, but I would still just sit back because I think they one-shot me anyways.
Yeah, they do.
So, yeah. So I would still kind of just, like I said, sit back like Poppy. So let's see. Like I would
I
not
think we
take
lose
his
the
path.
game there. Oh,
Yeah,
I actually got so tilted from this. Look at Echo checks, by the way.
Yes, but you're puffing. Why is it legal in your head to walk the way you did? Look, you're puffing. Like, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. We're not on vision. This is fine. There's always a world where this guy walks up. This is fine. Fine. What the fuck are you doing now?
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
How do you think you can walk like this with no cage?
They're also far back. But yeah, Israel isn't there either, so yeah. It's
Yes.
true.
Like, I understand what you're saying about Echo stuff, but like, why do we need to fight here? This wave is dead. Right? We failed a pick. Happens. Just run this way.
Yeah.
In their mind, they want to fight here because you have no cage. So now you're fucked. I understand, yeah, they went on this and they should help you. Yes, sure. But she has GA, it's still a bad fight. You know?
Yeah.
But if you had Sonus, bro.
Yes, man.
Look, if you had Sonus there, man. Look, watch. Look at Sonus now. It's useful, I think.
Yeah, dude, we would actually win the game if we got Sonya's. They would FF Insta.
Yep.
Mental warfare.
You with Sonya's Janak, and then you win.
They would pity me and then just FF.
They would actually feel bad for you because you bought Sonya, so they would just like FF to give you LP.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
My God. Oh my god. You win now. You win now. You win now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
When you have sword shoes, you should go Kindle Gem, not Giant Belt. But if you see the Arbiters, you can go Giant Belt. Because ability haste is still pretty good for you.
Okay.
But when you have like CD Arbiter, you
Like-
have so much fucking ability haste anyways. Give Nash,
just
they
used
can
to,
result.
I'm just used to like Kindle Gem being like really shitty item on its own, but yeah, you're right. In this case, like
Yeah, you need CD.
it's just when you build like when you build the Everfrost, you never want to get Kindle Gem, and I think that's just the
Yeah.
mental that sticks. So yeah.
I mean, you can versus like assassins. It's not that bad.
Really?
Yeah, like if you versus like assassins, I will one shot you. Kindle Gem is not terrible. That gem. Like versus like Kiana, I would go Kindle Gem. Because she has like an exact one shot combo, and if you have an extra 200 HP, she cannot. So.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. So I mean, it's the same thing. Like they're full tank sack, right? Cages, and Ken's on the side, and you're just egoing on him. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. You have to be careful with how you want to fight, because as soon as you use your cage, they can just all in you guys.
Yeah.
And if you're winning, I think you can play like this, because then this is not how it's gonna look. You will just one shot the sack here. But this guy has 500 MR.
Yeah.
So it's best case, it's a chunk, risking your life for a chunk is not good.
No.
Like, your cage is not poorly placed. It's a good cage, because you tried to cage Camille. Like, look, here, this is really good cage. Like, it's an actual really good cage. Because if you cage like he is, it's terrible. There's a world where Camille gets done here too. Then I think it's fucking good. You know?
I mean, after missing cage, I can just
here,
run.
yes, you have to leave. Instead, you just Everfrost everything on this guy. Like, what? You never kill him. It's not even close. Because I don't think they can reliably engage on you guys if Ezreal is poking. But I also understand why you want to fight. So, like, I would also look to fight. Because otherwise we just auto lose, right? Because of the minions versus our base.
Yeah.
But my problem is that you were doing this the entire game.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm mentioning it. Like, I think it's correct to look to start a fight there. Because otherwise, like I said, you lose. Mm-hmm. But since you were playing the fights like that always, I think that's really bad. Can't do that versus champs that can just punish you instantly when you don't have cage. Malphite, this type of champs, right? You can't just walk up and ego on them. Hecarim, he will fucking ult you. You know?
Yeah.
So there has to be some good reason why you can ego on them. Like, if it's 5v3, sure. If they're fucking low, sure. If you're really fucking fed, sure. If you have tank items before they have their real spikes, sure. You can do it. If you know you have flash and you know you're gonna outplay, go for it. But you can't do it always like you can versus a team comp like this, right? Ziggs, Jace, they will only return damage. They're not gonna like CC you and kill you, right? So you can kind of ego on them a little bit.
What do you think about the Dead Man's on Veigar now? Is it dead or?
I think versus dive you should go Anathema's Gargoyle. Versus long range you can go Dead Man's, yeah.
Okay.
But also depends if they have like if they have long range, but it's like one specific guy that's bombing you, then you go Anathema's to reduce his damage.
Yeah.
But if it's like they have long range in general and everyone is hurting you and they're all like AD, I think Deadman's is good still for the move speed. I think Force of Nature is the new Deadman's. It's really fucking good actually. Still gives a bit of movement speed, but it just reduces so much magic damage. But if you need armor and you need move speed, like versus like Jace, I think Deadman's can be good, yeah. Issues there's so much dive nowadays, you know? So then you just end up having Gargoyles and Anathemas mostly.
Yeah, and then the movement speed in runes becomes potent again.
Yeah. And sometimes even if they do have poke, they sometimes have mixed damage, like they have a Corki poking, but then have like a Jace Ezreal. And it's like, if I buy Deadman's, I'm one shot. So I'd rather go Gargoyle still just for the double resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're not diving, it's good to have two kinds of resistance, right? Because otherwise I'd buy Force of Nature and Deadman's, but that's a lot more gold than one item, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I usually have this thing with my elo. I usually go like, okay, so like really high, but like high for me, you know. So I usually go
you
to
peak
like,
and then it goes down or what?
Yeah, I go like I usually like sit around maybe 100, maybe 200, and then I just like fly down.
Mm-hmm.
And like last time we talked about it, and you said like back then I played a lot of Victor, and then I just stopped playing Victor because I started losing, and that was obviously like bad mental, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I stopped like switching champions. I just take breaks and whatever, but it doesn't really help. I don't really know why it is like this.
But what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that what you just said is even true? That you are not switching champs?
That I'm not switching champs?
Yeah. I'm looking at your OPGG and here you're AD carry main.
Yeah, that was something.
So you're not speaking the truth, no? Because you are swapping champs. Like, you're playing a lot of Syndra too, right? Are you a Syndra player?
I mean, I played her a lot, but not like this season.
Because like your win rate isn't bad. I don't know right what you're good at. I'm just saying that you are switching quite a lot of champs, and the stuff like team fighting with Veigar, for example, right? Those are stuff that if you play Veigar a lot, you get really good at.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why playing a lot of champs is bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't play Syndra. I'm just saying that you're telling me you're not swapping champs, but you are. You're literally maining ADC here, right?
Yeah, but I'm
And-
talking like when it's going badly, right?
Okay, but here you went 50% win rate, and I would say that that was already extremely lucky, right?
Yeah.
This
I
could
should
easily be
never play
0%, 0.4. That would equal to around 70 to 80 LP lost, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're losing a lot of Malzahar. I don't know why, because I think Malzahar is quite a strong champ.
Yeah,
So
I
some-
also got quite high LP with him.
Yes,
last season.
I think Malzahar is pretty fucking good. But something is wrong with your Malzahar.
Yeah.
So every time you're playing Malzahar right now, you're losing, and you're not doing good. So it's not like it's unlucky losses.
No.
Like, my Karthus win rate is fucking unlucky. Like, let me see. Look at my win rate on Karthus.
Mhm.
But I'm 1v9 every game. But it's low sample size, you know?
Mhm.
So, it's just unlucky. But I don't feel like your Malzahar is unlucky, because a lot of your games...
The one that you were just hovering, the upper
I
one
mean,
is
I'm sure
unlucky,
some are unlucky.
Yeah. But a
My
lot
point-
of them, yeah, I have a
My
lot
point
of
is that
those.
if you were one-tricking Malzahar, like you used to when you were peaking, right?
Mm.
I think it wouldn't look like this.
No.
Because you're dying a lot and you just seem a bit uncomfortable sometimes in game. Like, in the Veigar game too, it's like, some of the things you're doing just seems to me that you're not used to being in the situations that you're in.
Mhm.
And if you're playing champion more, you would be more used to those situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, here you're on one trick period of LeBlanc. And I'm sure that every time you're playing LeBlanc then, you feel a lot more comfortable,
Yeah.
right? And that can help a lot. And I'm not saying you should one trick, but in this period you're one tricking, and then here is like so many like different champions. Like, you dropped Malzahar completely, even though that was your best champ, right?
Yeah, it was.
Why? Why did you drop him? Like, he's bad versus Corki. Yes, I agree. It's not great versus Victor Ori, Syndra, but it's good versus Akali, right? People play Akali. It's good versus LeBlanc. People play LeBlanc. It's good versus melees and assassins, right?
Mhm.
People play those all the time. It's all, you know.
Yeah.
Veigar is not good versus assassins. It's good versus melees, but not that great versus assassins.
My Jace is just when I mean, I think I have one Phil top game, and then I have when I play against Victor, I think Jace is alright.
I mean, I'd rather play Veigar versus Victor. I don't think Veigar is bad versus Victor, to be honest. I think Victor is, yeah, I like that matchup, to be honest.
Yeah, the game if you scroll one down, it's against Agony Pain, but he can't lane because he plays
Yeah.
Kiana.
Yeah.
But I know him like actually, so I will. So
Yeah.
it's funny.
I mean, I just think that, like, here you randomly play the Ori game, for example, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you won, sure. But I think if I have other view you play Orianna, I will see a lot of wrong things with your ball or positioning or just mistakes in general that, again, is related to not being confident on the champ. Because you have not
Yep.
played Ori for a while, no?
Yeah, I mean it's not. Yeah, I mean
So it's like, why
Yeah,
didn't you
agree.
just pick Syndra there? Like, enemy blind picked Veigar here, I assume, right?
probably yes.
So why not just pick Syndra into Veigar? It's better matchup.
Mm.
You're solo AP Syndra. You have no CC on your team, so no mercs.
Yeah.
Here you're playing Malzahar versus fucking Seraph for some reason. Seraph Ezreal, you're playing Malzahar. That's useless, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, when you're just playing games like this, you will just lose confidence on the pick. You will not believe in it anymore. Because yeah, it's
Yeah.
dog shit here, of course. It's piss.
I mean I used to win those games.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure you can win. I also been playing Veigar
I mean
versus Seraph.
I
but-
shouldn't, but I used to, man. I used to.
Yes, but I think if you're one-tricking Malzahar, you get into the mindset of Malzahar, and it's different, like, right? It's different mindset to be in. Like, when you're Malzahar, you have to tell yourself, I'm fucking useless, and then you have to tell yourself, you're fucking broken, right? Because then you get ulti, and you're getting late game.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot waste your flash on Malzahar, but with the way that you're playing Veigar, right? You waste your flash on Malzahar like that, then you're useless. Lost all your pressure. So I think, like, you were talking a little bit about losing focus, but I think that is true. Because look at some of your games, right? Like, some of these games are like complete fucking open games, right?
Yeah.
And you're the one performing bad in it too. I'm sure your teammates also did. But you're having too many of them that I believe that it's just unlucky.
Mm.
The LeBlanc games are kind of excusable because LeBlanc is a champion that can quickly go wrong. So that's not as bad. But when I see shit like 10 deaths Malzahar versus Seraphine Rammus Rakan Blitzcrank, how? Right? Like they had a smite top, probably, right? Yeah, they had a fucking piss roamer. How can you die to that? Why are you trying to push versus somebody that has to snowball? Right?
Yeah, it's a good question.
So these things, it's like, you don't need to bother with the fixes. You just have to play less champions. Like here, for example, you're playing Zed, right?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to dodge that game.
Yeah, because you recognized you shouldn't play Zed, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I also got I got completed draft get by my team because I wanted to play
Malzahar?
Malsaria.
Yeah,
And
but you're full AP.
it was 1 second left, and then my top laner locks in Gwen. So
yeah, but that's fine then, because you recognized it's a lost draft and you should dodge. So
yeah,
it's not bad. But yeah, I mean, like I said, of course there's a lot in that Veigar game, but overall I'd say that you should give Malzahar a try again and try to maybe. I think you are one of the people that benefits of going on like one trick sprees, where you kind of just like play 1 or 2 champs mainly, so that you get confident on the champ, because your LeBlanc win rate is really high, and you were completely one-tricking her, and your Malzahar win rate was also really high when you were one-tricking her, and you were kind of one-tricking Veigar at some point too, no?
Yeah, I in preseason.
Yeah, and then your Veigar win rate was probably high.
I had you put that thing on Twitter, like your Veigar win rate, and
Yeah.
I was trying to find a screenshot of my Veigar win rate to send to you, but it would be kind of weird because you're you and not me. but still.
But like now when you're playing like a lot of other champs and then you're playing like some Veigar here and there, you're not as good as Veigar as when you're spamming it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you're bot lane, like, why don't you just play Veigar in bot lane?
Yeah.
He's good in bot lane. Right?
Yeah.
Like, when you have this type of game, why do you pick Orianna instead of Syndra? Well, if you don't like Syndra, well then, why don't you pick Orianna instead of Syndra in the games you're picking Syndra then? Because you can't pick everything.
No.
Because, like, how many games do you play a day? Like, 4 or 5?
I mean, I used to play 4 or 5. I think the last week or so, I've only played like 2 or 3 a day.
Right, so then we cannot play 10 champs.
No.
So, like, when you're getting top lane, for example, right, it feels awkward because you don't have any good top lane champs in your pool, so you just pick Jace. That makes sense. But when you're bot lane, why Ezreal? Why all of these things? Why not just go Veigar? He's a good bot laner.
But I saw your Ezreal tweet.
Yeah, I mean...
Ezreal free champ.
But how many times have you played Ezreal in your life? Like 50?
How's the weather?
How many games do you have on Ezreal? 50?
Yeah,
40?
probably. Not enough to pick it.
Yes, I have 250 plus.
Yeah.
And I still play Veigar bot lane. Like here you have...
I mean, you're so right.
You're not even like that AP heavy. Like I can understand if you're ADC and then your jungle and mid picks double AP. Yeah, okay, yeah, you don't want to play Veigar, makes sense. But like this game, like
I mean, I should never play ADC, dude. I can't. My mental when I see my supports play, I just want to FF every game.
Yeah.
I should just secondary role support, give my ADC 3 waves to prove to me that he's good. Yeah. And then if not, we roam.
Yeah. Okay. Like here, you're playing Akali mid lane, like this can't be good.
I played it in a few flex games, bro.
But it can't be good. Like you're not an Akali player, man. You fucking one-tricked Malzahar and Veigar. Like you can play LeBlanc, sure, but she is as close to an assassin you're allowed to play, I think.
Oof.
Akali is such a dog shit champ, man. This champ fucking sucks. You randomly need to get pentakill or you're so useless. Have no fucking wave clear, have nothing to do. Just randomly have to hope that you solo kill enemy.
Yeah, I also became a team of one trick at one point. I realized that it didn't matter what I played, so...
Well, it does. Look, you're clearly smurfing on
it
LeBlanc
does.
here. Look, you're
Yeah.
piss smurfing on LeBlanc every game.
Yeah.
So yeah, then you go on Syndra spree, right? And now you're on Veigar spree, right? And you just seem to do so much better when you're spamming the same champs.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of people that are like that. A lot of pro players too. When they need to pick up a champion or a new champion comes meta, they have to fucking spam it. Like Perks is like that. He has to fucking
Really?
like spam champion. Like
I mean,
obviously
you
he's not
should
gonna
know.
int on a first time, right? He's not gonna int first time on a champ, but he's also not gonna completely 1v9. There's a reason why LeBlanc is so good, right?
Yeah, you found the start of the season now. Or no?
Yeah.
Maybe? I think it looks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I lose every game.
Yeah.
I think I went 1-9.
But so, like,
My
you're
first
going
time.
through these like phases, like here you are Diana Yasuo main. See? You have
Yeah,
Diana
I
and
just
you're
pick
like,
Yasuo when I see the Diana, man.
but you're not a good Yasuo. You're griefing every Yasuo game. Like every single one, dude. Look.
Okay, further down. I need
Yeah,
to find
so
one.
so far 2 griefers, 3 griefers, 4. So what are you gonna tell me? You had 1 good game. Okay, nice. You had a pretty average performance there.
Against
Kassadin. Yep, against Kassadin, Ezreal, Yumi. Your team was probably piss smurfing considering you had 40% kill. Yep. Nice, man. Yeah, you're fucking good at Yasuo, I think. Look here.
Yeah, man.
You are so insane at Yasuo.
Yeah, dude.
So as you can see, even though like yeah, Yasuo Diana is a good combo, yeah, but you are not really doing good in the Yasuo part of the Diana. So yeah, just because Rek'Sai LeBlanc is good doesn't mean I'm gonna go and play LeBlanc when I have Rek'Sai. Right? You can. Yeah, you're good at LeBlanc.
Karthus.
I'm not. Yeah, I will go Karthus Rek'Sai instead. That's better. But yeah, I'll stop the recording here and